Hey everybody, it's Grayson here. Welcome back for another live stream. It has been a minute since we have had a live stream together. I know. They're not going anywhere. Don't worry. The channel is going to be making some major updates, but the core of it's going to be staying the same. Don't worry. Before the stream even starts and I get into anything, I just want to say up front the debates aren't going anywhere. I'm still going to be for later on this stream. We're going to be going on a rundown of what upcoming debates that I have, and then I'm still going to be doing the debunk videos. Those have been amazing, like especially the new ones. I can tell that you guys have been loving the debunks. So yeah, the debunk content is going to very much continue. And this stream, I want to talk about specifically who I'm thinking about debunking next. And I want to hear feedback from you guys in the live chat. I'm going to be looking at the live chat this whole stream and interacting with you guys here. And I want to hear exactly your feedback about my ideas for upcoming videos. I want to know what you guys like, what you want to see more of. And yeah, I mean, thank you so much for getting the channel up to 3,000 subscribers and now like above 3,200. It's insane. The last few videos since the William Lane Craig incident has blown up the channel. It's been incredible to get to see. And thank you all the new subscribers, all the old subscribers that have been here since like day one. Thank you guys. The channel would not be what it is without the community that you all are helping build right now. So thank you for being part of this learning journey of mine and learning along with me as I go and just getting to celebrate new science, old science, science history, theories of all kinds, and debunking these loony pseudoscientists. Yes, that's right, Real Cygnus based AF. It's been an amazing journey. Thank you to my amazing mods in the chat too, like PC, Pragmatic Crystal. Thank you so much, Ember. Good to see you. Yeah, thank you guys so much for your well wishes. And Ember actually inspired the title for this stream because she commented something along the lines of like, it's life goals to ratio the world's most famous Christian apologist. And I was like, wait, is William Lane Craig really the world's most famous Christian apologist? And I thought about it and I was trying to think of anybody more famous. I'm like maybe Frank Turek, but I talked to him too. But then I asked ChatGPT and I said, who's the world's most famous Christian apologist? And I don't know if they were listening to my messages or they were also reading Embers. I don't know. But yeah, ChatGPT said that William Lane Craig is the world's most famous Christian apologist, and I ratioed him so bad. I mean, I don't know what the current one is, but that video is over 10,000 views right now. Like I think just earlier today or yesterday, it surpassed 10,000 views. And if I remember correctly, like William Lane Craig's original video was somewhere around 4,000. So like a complete blowout, a complete ratio. I mean, yeah, life goals indeed. It feels surreal too that my video ratioed him so bad. As the world's most famous Christian apologist. Like I was asking a few of my friends that like are only slightly into this whole space, and even they knew William Lane Craig, and it just felt so cool, especially the fact that some PhD philosophers came to my defense in the defense of the arguments that I was making in my fixing of the Kalam. So I'm sure that everybody watching now has probably seen that video, but yeah, it was a treat. The debunking videos are definitely going to continue. But before we continue with this stream, I feel like I need to say right up the bat, right? Trash talk. Okay. I know I hyped trash talk up in the last live stream and I have been hyping it up and I am hype about it. I'm so excited to begin with trash talk. So I need to update you guys on the state of where trash talk is because I still haven't put out trash talk episode 1, as you may have noticed. For those of you who are new on the channel and are like, what is he talking about? Trash Talk is a new stream format that I'm wanting to do for these weekly live streams. Basically, I want to get out of this room. I want to continue the live stream format. I want people to call in. I want people to bring their arguments. I want debates to happen like Socrates in the Agora, basically, and the debate dojo as like a getting to train against people calling in and getting interesting conversations on topics from cosmological beginnings to the origin of life, consciousness, free will, evolution, quantum physics, flat earth, whatever people want to debate about. All kinds of topics. You guys know that I like talking about all these subjects and more. So that's the goal, is to get out of this room, have a call-in show for these kinds of arguments while I'm outside somewhere in nature picking up trash, doing something active with my body while doing something active with my mind and interacting with all of you guys. Obviously, I'm going to have a co-host to help manage the chat and take and read the super chats and everything. And it's going to be, just looking forward to it so much. So that has been really a lot of difficulty logistically to pull off. That is still 100% in the plans. That is a priority of mine, to start Trash Talk as soon as possible. So basically, there are a few logistical issues that I've been playing around with. I really have been trying to avoid getting Starlink, Elon Musk's service, um, but due to the nature of streaming outdoors in the environments that I'm going to be wanting to stream in, it kind of seems like that might be my only option. I've been messing around with different cell providers and cell boosters and different cameras and even drone cameras that maybe would be able to follow me around and film me as I'm on the go versus a camera on a tripod. I've been experimenting around to try to figure out what is the best way to do this on the budget that I have. So that has been a holdup on Trash Talk. I don't have a set date for when that's starting, but just know that I am really passionate about starting that up as soon as I can, and I will be starting that up as soon as I can. So I wanted to talk about Trash Talk right up the bit off the bat, right? But later on in this stream, I'm going to be opening up the vault, which is just a fancy word for the notes app on my phone where I keep all of my upcoming video ideas. And I want to hear from the people in the live chat. I want to hear from the people in the comments that are viewing this later about what you think about these upcoming ideas that I have. Because I have so many ideas for video, guys. Like, there's just not enough time in the day to address all the ideas for the videos that I want to do on all the different science topics, the debunks, the pseudoscience, everything to talk about. There's just not enough time to get to it all. So I want to help narrow down the list of priorities for what videos you guys want to see sooner rather than later, which ones you guys are most excited about. So before I get to that, though, I just wanted to share it with everyone because it has been a while since I have done a live stream, right? It is spooky season now. I haven't done a live stream in October, so happy Halloween, everyone. That's my favorite of the holidays. So I'm super stoked for Halloween, and it was awesome to hit 3,000 subscribers during October, during Spook Center. Thank you, Captive Desk, Dave. Yes. So I wanted to share about what my Halloween costume is, and I want to hear from you guys. If you know what your Halloween costume is, go ahead and share it in the live chat. I want to hear, but I'm got the mask in the mail the other day. So here's the mask. Maybe some of you recognize it already. If you recognize what mask this is, type it in the live chat if you know what mask this is. This is going to be part of my Halloween costume. So I'm not going to say what it is until I see that nobody has guessed it in the live chat, and then I'll go ahead and give it up. But if you know who this is, let me know. No, it is not Majora's Mask from Zelda. But that's a great game, though. One of the all-time greats. But no, this is going to be my Halloween costume. It is from one of my favorite movies of all time, Princess Mononoke. This is her mask, but I'm going as a gender-bent version. So I will be Prince Mononoke. So I need some like white fur and everything to go along with this. And yeah, I'm super excited about it. I mean, Princess Mononoke is really one of the greatest fantasy movies ever made. So yeah, that's my costume. Let me know if you guys know what you're going for Halloween yet, or put it in the comments. I love Halloween. Anyways, that was a brief detour. So let's go ahead and let's open the vault and see what I've got coming up, right? So I want to start by talking about the debates that I have coming up, right? Because there's some pretty interesting debates. So first of all, in November 25th, I believe, I will be debating Kent Hovind once again. That's right. I don't even know what round this is at this point, but this, I swear, this time is going to be my last Kent Hovind debate, and so I want to go out with a bang. I want to go out with a big debate. I want to make it different than my other um, debates that I've had with him so far. I've been seeing some criticism a little bit from the method of my approach of just sort of the debates feeling like whack-a-mole. Like people like obviously the science. I mean, I think everybody on this channel loves science, or why else would they be here? So they like, and I like quickly addressing Kent's nonsense with the actual science that refutes his positions. But that does start to feel like a dizzying game of whack-a-mole or tennis or something, and sometimes, as a debate, as somebody listening, that can get a little just lost in the sauce. So, I want to go out maybe a little bit more aggressive on this last one. I really want it to be like, I don't want Kent Hovind to even want another debate after this. Let's just say it like that. I want this to be a big climactic finale of my debate series at this point that I've done with Kent Hovind. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that one. I think that that one should be quite entertaining. And yeah, I'm just going to have fun with it because at this point, I cannot take Ken Hovind seriously. I hope that nobody does. I honestly hope that nobody takes Ken Hovind seriously. But I cannot take debates with him seriously anymore. He's not a serious opponent. He's not a serious man. And he shouldn't be treated seriously. And I'm not going to be treating him or the debate seriously. It should be a lot of fun. So I won't say any more about any specifics, but you're going to want to tune in for the big uh, ultimate Kent Hovind versus Grayson showdown finale. Um, and then I also have another debate scheduled on Standing for Truth channel with Praise I Am, who it has been a long time in the making. I mean, Praise has been, I've known him since I started the channel basically, and we've been talking about doing a debate, and it's going to be about naturalism, like secularism, atheism on one side, and Christianity, theism, supernatural type beliefs on the other. And it's just going to be a conflict of worldview, and he's going to be trying to um, bring about whatever his arguments are for the supernatural and the existence of God. And it should be a very interesting and philosophical debate. I know he's going to bring up quantum mechanics, so we're going to get about what is it that really collapses the wave function? Is it consciousness? Is it measurement? What does the experimental evidence say? I know that that's going to be brought up at some point as to like the the nature of neural correlates for things like intentions or sensations, perceptions, consciousness. It's going to be very, very interesting. So that should be make for a really good debate. Um, and here's an interesting debate that was just proposed today by email by a friend of the channel. Hold on. A friend of the channel, Dr. Chris Thompson, a neuroscientist, PhD neuroscientist, who I agree with about maybe 99% of everything, right? Um, and I would consider a great friend. But he proposed that we do a debate on modern day debate about free will, because I believe that Chris is a compatibilist and I am not. That position doesn't make sense to me. I recognize that the majority of scientific philosophers are compatibilists and then I'm in the minority on this. But personally, I've never been able to wrap my head around and understand how compatibilism makes sense, how free will and the deterministic laws of chemistry and physics can coexist. I don't know. I mean, call me old fashioned with my libertarian view of free will and what that means, but it's hard for me to get past that and understand what it is that compatibilists even are talking about when they're talking about free will. So Chris and I will be going back and forth on that. Again, PhD neuroscientist. So that should be a lot of fun. We agree on almost everything except maybe this issue, but I think we're both looking forward to talking about it. So that'll be a great, really fun debate. I've got a debate coming up on Justin's channel, Yahooligan's channel. That's going to be about evolution. It's with this guy that I didn't know super well, and I saw Mark Reed debate him on Justin's channel. You guys should check that video out. I'll put that in the description. But it should be really good. Yeah, Octavio. So it's Skeptic Spin. That's Justin's channel that he's starting up, like that's hosting debates. So it's kind of like, if you like modern day debate, but you don't like some of the toxicity that goes on there, check out Justin's new channel, Skeptic Spin. So I will be debating Octavio on there about evolution coming up later in December, and we need to finalize a date on that. And I will also be making an appearance on Bad Science Sunday in December. I'm a very, very busy bee lately. I haven't even gotten to one of the biggest new updates for the channel, which is for those that are missing these weekly live streams, they want more of the weekly science update content. Remember, I used to do science news every week. I would review the latest, coolest news in science that I saw. And I still keep up with the news and science. I still love science. But I haven't been talking about it at the weekly live streams. And the Trash Talks live streams are not really going to be focused on science news. But I will be on a weekly podcast, just not on this channel. No, I'm going to be a weekly staple, it seems like, for the near future on Planet Peterson's weekly podcast, the Planet Peterson podcast, on Saturdays at noon Central, I believe. So that's tomorrow. So I will be on tomorrow. And yeah, on that weekly podcast, I will be bringing up new science news of the week, and Planet Peterson and myself and one other person there is going. We're all going to be kind of talking about it, riffing, having a podcast. It should be a lot of fun. I mean, Planet Peterson, you guys. I mean, he's pretty hilarious. He has a channel that I think, if you guys don't know Planet Peterson, you probably should, because you probably would like him if you like my channel. I think that we have a lot of overlap in terms of what people like about his content. They probably would also appreciate about mine, and vice versa. So if you don't know Planet Peterson Center, check it out. I will be on it tomorrow for the podcast. Again, I think that's around noon Central Time tomorrow. But if you miss it, it's just going to be uploaded onto the channel anyway. So check that one out. And I'll be doing that kind of weekly. And there's also going to be some videos that I'll be putting on Planet Peterson's channel. So my next debunk, I think you guys are really going to like. And that's going to be uploaded onto Planet Peterson's channel as like a guest. Basically, I'm going to be an alien on the Planet Peterson. I mean, not like literally, but I will be doing a little guest video there. And I think maybe eventually that might end up on this channel. It just sort of depends. It's kind of, I don't want to give away too much about it, but that's going to be coming out. I've been working on that video just today. So super excited about that. And I want to look at some comments right now. Ember says, speaking of science news, have you heard about the latest giant asteroid with our name on it? I actually have not heard of that. So if anyone's got a link to that story or anything, yeah, let me know. That sounds very interesting. Yeah, let's see. Tyler West said, I would like to see someone go to Colorado and see the tank that supposedly shows all the layers in the geologic column were laid down at the same time, according to Kent. Yeah, I was just in Colorado this weekend. So I mean, I didn't have time to do that, but maybe I should have made time. That would have been maybe a good video. And let's see. Aprender de Sahando said, good night, Grayson. Are you planning more content on the origin of life in the future? All right. This is actually the perfect segue. Like, I'm so glad that you brought this up particularly, because I've been very excited to talk about this. Yes, I definitely am. On multiple fronts. But oh man. Okay, so I was just talking about the debates. I'll talk about the origin of life debates coming up, right? Cy Gart, you guys know that I called into Capturing Christianity, pretty big video on the channel, and talked with Cy Gart about his takes on abiogenesis, and we alluded to talking more. There's been a bit of a back and forth. It's been really hard to schedule. He's a busy guy. We were originally going to talk in September. That got pushed now, and he wants me to reach back out to him in November, and we're going to try to get it done by the end of the year. So look out for a Cy Gart debate. We're going to be talking more than just abiogenesis. We're going to be talking about like teleology, agency in biology, consciousness, human evolution. it's going to be pretty interesting. And again, this is Sygard is a PhD Christian biochemist, and it should be a great discussion. So we're definitely going to talk about abiogenesis during that debate. We're going to talk about the amyloid world hypothesis. You guys know my personal favorite hypothesis for abiogenesis. That's why this is the perfect segue question, because I wanted to maybe debut a new format of videos for this channel, and I want to hear your thoughts on that format of having interviews with scientists or like YouTubers of various kinds, and have like an interview setting. And for the first of those interviews, I've been reaching out to one of the labs that has been one of the most integral in developing like amyloid chemistry in the origin of life research field, and looking at the kinds of characteristics that amyloids can have in prebiotic situations to, be self-replicators that also can pass on sequence information generationally, and amazing things like that. And so having an interview with some of those scientists, so you can hear straight from the researchers themselves the kinds of things that they're finding about origin of life. I would love to do an interview like that. I want to hear your thoughts on if you would like to see interviews with scientists like that on this channel. And if so, like who or what types of scientists would you want me to interview? Like another one potentially is I know in my discussions about the nature of consciousness and everything, one thing that got brought up that was controversial on the channel was whether or not octopus are conscious or not, because they're one of the most intelligent brains evolved independently of vertebrates, right? So having maybe a biologist or someone that specializes in octopus neurobiology, or interacting with octopus like an octopus expert, and interviewing them about octopus consciousness, that could make for a great video too. So yeah, interviews with various experts. Does that sound like something that you guys would be interested in? Please, guys, like I said, let me know. I'm going to be reading these live chats. I'm going to be reading the comments. I want to be hearing from you guys. I see that we have 5 gifted subs from I Killed Earl. Good to see you, Earl. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships. I guess now that the channel has changed names and is no longer base theory, I'm going to have to think of a better name for the membership. So if you guys can think of something, maybe the Falconers or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's dumb. That was just the first thing off my head because of Hawk, but we're going to workshop it. Don't worry. Okay, back to reading some of these live chats. Okay, I see that there's some excitement about the Planet Peterson collaborations. Yes, that is the same Peterson, Eric Peterson, that crushed Kent Hovind. Yeah, hey to Al Trucker. Hey to Maya. Good to see you, Maya. Yep, going to be on Bad Science Sunday at some point in December. I need to get back on with Maya and schedule that out. But yeah, I'm going to be on Bad Science Sunday, so look out for that one. Al wanted to say that my entanglement video is one of their favorites on YouTube, done along with the stuff on the paleo digging with Doc. Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, maybe I should do more videos on sort of quantum gravity and the nature of how space time can emerge from more fundamental layers of reality and physics, and some of the different theories for that, like quantum cosmology theories. That could be a kind of cool video extension on that kind of thing, because I was actually genuinely surprised by how well that entanglement video did. Normally my strict science communication videos barely ever hit 1,000 views, and that one surpassed 2,000. So I was shocked that a 30-minute video, 45-minute, whatever it was, video of my presentation on quantum mechanics, entanglement, and the cosmology of the universe was so popular with people. But it was amazing to see people genuinely interested in like that deep layer of fundamental physics. I love that stuff. I mean, it's one of my 3 primary research interests. You guys probably know, I've said it before on the channel, but quantum gravity, the emergence of space-time, that's one of them. Abiogenesis, the origins of life, is another, and the nature of consciousness is a third. So those are like my 3 big, in terms of the open, ongoing mysteries, the areas of research in the fields of science. Those are like my 3 biggest passions. So you guys know I love this stuff. If you guys want to see more videos about any of those 3 topics, you guys know I'm always prepared to talk more about those subjects. So let me know. London asks, how would you explain meteorites only having a lifespan of 10,000 years as an atheist? That's a false premise, basically, is how I would explain it. They don't have a lifespan of 10,000 years. I don't know where you got that number, but citation needed. Um, let's see. The personal favorite hypothesis is metabolism first. I gotta say, systems chemistry is just amazing, and metabolism first would be such an incredible and like just a very poetic way of like it's just this complex chaotic system. There's just too much going on for even just one. You can't even diagram what's happening and then this neat coherent fashion because there's just so many reactions happening. It's so chaotic to map that no mind could wrap itself around everything. And there's something cool about that life could emerge from all of these different compartmentalized reactions that are all occurring without this sort of global cohesion, but that can still emerge in these sort of interactions of these complex chaotic dynamics. Yeah, I mean, metabolism first is still very compelling. I can totally understand and respect that as a favorite. One second. Nice, nice. I'm happy to see Al as a member. Yes, that's all thanks to I Killed Earl. The people know. The people know. Um, Not quite true. Amyloid world would be considered protein first, not metabolism first. Interviews with origin of life scientists would be great. Yeah, I mean, I would love to do that myself personally. So I think that it could be we could make it very very interesting as well. So the chicken hawks, I don't know about that one. Uh, let's see. There's maybe a silly question, but what's your favorite candidate for interstellar travel method? Um, I mean, solar sails I've always thought was really, really cool. Just as a technology, just aesthetically, poetically, solar sails is super cool. But um, if it's possible, I guess I don't know if you call it a warp drive or whatever they would call it, but where you basically contract the space-time in front of you while simultaneously expanding the space-time behind you. If you could find some way to technologically manipulate the expansion and contraction of local space-time, then you could warp the space and time around you in such a way that your vehicle doesn't move at all. It's not moving through space-time. Space and time are just warping around it in a way that you could travel faster than light itself because you're not actually moving. Um, if that is physically possible and there's a way to do that without negative mass, or if negative mass is real and we can harness it somehow, whatever, however that could work, that would be my favorite. um yes, link to Bad Science Sunday, you guys check them out. Maya and Dr. Tapioca Weasel are awesome human beings and they're there every week debunking the pseudoscience. So if you like my channel, you'll like theirs. Check them out. I'm going to be on in December at some point. um yeah, I'm glad that people are liking I'm glad people are liking it. The ideas. They really enjoyed the quantum physics presentation. Maybe that's one that you might have to watch a couple times, but because there's just like a lot going on there. I was even rushing, even though I was kind of getting into more detail than I even got during the time I gave the speech itself. Um, what Linda meant to say is that he doesn't understand why some comets are not as old as the whole solar system. A lot of comments are as old as the solar system. They kind of all converge on the same date of 4.56, 4.6 billion years. Um, those are all the oldest comments that we pick up from within our solar system are all around. They all converge towards that date. So, I mean, that's pretty tough to explain if you're a young Earth creationist, isn't it? Um, yeah. So, oh, he says that they meant comets, not meteors. Well, comets can be generated. I mean, fresh. I mean, there are comet generating mechanisms. Um, uh, Creation myths, Dr. Dan. Good to see you. He says can't be hanging out long, but congrats on the well-deserved 3K. Thanks for stopping by, Dr. Dan. Everybody, I mean, you guys know Creation myths is a mythic legend himself. So thanks for stopping by, Dan. Appreciate you. Um, I need to figure out. Do you know if you can link your Discord in your YouTube description? I need to figure out if maybe I can link that so that people can hit me up on Discord more easily. Um, yeah, let me know. Let me know if you guys know how to do that. So we're gonna go back to opening up the vault. For those of you that missed it, the vault is what I call the apps note, the notes on my phone of the upcoming video ideas. And we're just going to talk about some of the ones that I'm particularly excited about. Um, so we talked about the debate with Sidegard, but on the topic of origins of life, because you guys know it's one of my favorites. One of the pure science communication videos that I was thinking about is specifically the mineral serpentine. I don't know if you've seen it somewhere around here. I know I have some serpentine. I wanted to get it, but I couldn't find it. But I have some serpentine, and it's the relationship between serpentine and the origin of life, because serpentine actually plays a much bigger and more prominent role in like the very nature of life itself than I think 99% of people realize. Like there's an entire process called serpentinalization. It's very hard to say, but it's serpentinization. Um, and it's basically like one of the central chemical reactions at the heart of what life even is and how it could evolve. Um, so yeah, if you like serpentine, it's one of my favorite stones too. You guys can probably see that green's one of my favorite colors, if not my favorite color, and serpentine's one of my favorite stones as well. And just knowing how it interacts with just the very nature of life and how life originates, basically like the process of serpentinization is very very similar to the kinds of process, it's like integral to the kinds of process that the very earliest forms of life would be doing, where you're sort of um, harnessing energy from hydrogen gas and methane and things like that, like that methanogens do today, that kind of metabolism. And so that's one idea in the debunking department, right? Because I know that people are loving the debunk videos lately. Um, I'm really, really excited to debunk Dr. Lyle. He's a creationist cosmologist, as astrophysicist. He's one of the only ones. So that will be a sort of debunking his claims about the Big Bang. And that's going to be really, really a lot of fun. I mean, I'm going to tear it apart. And I wanted to do it as a collaboration with Mr. Anderson, but Mr. Anderson, I think, is taking a little bit of a break and said that I should just go ahead and do that debunking on my own. But if I can rope Mr. Anderson back in to bring him back to do that, I will. I will absolutely make that case, guys, because I know that everybody misses and loves Mr. Anderson. So much love if he sees this. Yeah, Jason Lyle, debunk. People are excited about that one, I can tell. Okay, here we go. Yes. I also want to do not the final experiment, but I want to do more flat earth experiments on this channel. I have several that I think are going to be great, just so that, flat earthers are all the time, oh, well, you haven't tested it yourself. Well, I'm going to be testing it myself on this channel. So if you guys, subscribe for that, if you want to see like actual flat earth tests, even if you're a flat earther, subscribe, because I'm going to be testing it myself and I'm going to be leaving my bias at the door. I'm going to be doing proper science here. So I'm trying to do one of those in November. Basically, I'm going to be in around LIGO in November for various reasons, and I want to go back to LIGO and try to do a measurement at LIGO that could only be pulled off if the Earth is not flat, and if the Earth is a sphere. So if the Earth is a spheroid, we shall see in November if LIGO permits me to do this. So I'm still need to get the permission. I need to follow up on the email that I sent them and try to get permission to make these measurements at LIGO. But I already have taken the tour once before. They know me there. So fingers crossed that I can do this. Oh, thank you so much, Left-Handed Jedi, for the 5 gifted memberships. Yeah, Maya might have gotten one here. Ember. It's awesome. Everyone's getting these. Science Crumble Raisin Nerd. Thank you guys so much for the gifted memberships. It seriously means so much. Helps me continue making stuff on this channel. And Like you guys can see, I have a lot of ideas. Okay, it takes a lot of time to make all these videos, and you guys are making it possible. So, um, yeah, and just not just experiments in flat Earth, um, and observations and stuff. Like I want to do experiments in some of the origin of life stuff too, as exciting as that can be, because I came across some chapters in a textbook on methods of enzymology, specifically about how to make self replicating amyloids. And some of the equipment did not seem that unfeasible. Like, I think I might be able to do this. I mean, I've done similar methods before with like chromatography, like high performance column chromatography, liquid chromatography. I've done that kind of stuff before with proteomics. Back in college, I worked in a structural biochemistry lab where basically I was taking the iron out of the heme protein in blood and putting in neighboring elements next to iron in the periodic table, like cobalt or manganese, and seeing how that affected the structural properties of that protein. So I'm used to, working with these proteins, analyzing them for their structural components. So I have some experience with a lot of this, and I think I might be able to pull it off and make some self-replicating amyloids and mess around with them and see how they, just sort of experiment. And I think that would be so much fun to do on this channel. Basically, doing origin of life experiments in my own backyard. So if I can pull that off, that would be incredible. And so let me get, basically, I need to buy the textbook Methods of Enzymology or somehow track down that section, and it was $200. So these gifted memberships go a long way towards helping fund the kind of things that I want to do on this channel, because the flat Earth experiments, I mean, I got to go to Louisiana for that one, or I mean, I guess I could maybe strike a deal with one of the employees there that could do it for me. But maybe there are budget ways to do this. But my point is that these things are costing money, and but I really want to put this money and invest in the channel to grow even more and be able to do these kinds of big, epic experiments, and the bigger videos. Like I've traveled a lot for this channel. Like I've gone to Dinosaur Adventureland with Kent Hovind, gone down to Houston for the James Tour debate, went to Wyoming to dig up dinosaur fossils. So I want to continue to do stuff like that. It costs money. And these memberships, the super chats, they help out a ton with that. So let's go look at some more of upcoming video ideas. Here's one of debunking pseudoscience. This is not anyone in particular. This is a video that I saw on Rumble. So maybe this could be like a live stream kind of one, because it's definitely one to react to. It's about the God gene, which is, you think, is maybe some sort of like edgy atheist evolutionary biologist talking about the God gene, the gene that makes you believe in God, like some college freshman in genetics or something. But no, it's the Christians, and they're saying that the pharmaceutical industries are trying to conspire to suppress, like epigenetically suppress people's God genes with like all this, I'm not going to say any buzzwords, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about, certain injections. And they think that they're trying to suppress the God gene in people so that they turn away from God and embrace Satan and stuff. And it's like, it's just such hilarious pseudoscience. And they got a guy that's claiming to be like some genetic scientist expert, and it's absurd, and it needs to be talked about more because it's hilarious. Like Rumble is just such a cesspool of the internet. Oh wow, okay. Thank you, Left-Handed Jedi, for the $20 super chat here with the note for research. Dude, Left-Handed Jedi, thank you so much. I mean, this is really gonna help. Yeah, I've got a lot of these research ideas. You can tell. I mean, I'm opening up a little bit of the vault here, but I've got like a lot of ideas here for upcoming video topics. So this is a massive help. Like Left-Handed Jedi, you don't even know. You're incredible. Thank you. Um, yeah. So and yeah, thank you. I'm also glad that I survived Dinosaur Adventureland, and I know that because I have not spoken with Kent Hovind since going to Dinosaur Adventureland, and this upcoming debate that I have with him in November, I know that's going to get brought up. He talked about it in some of his videos. He called me a liar for saying that he went to jail for tax evasion. He's like, "Oh no, that was actually structuring." It's like, my dude, if you're going to jail for structuring, the reason why you were structuring is to evade paying the taxes that you owed. Like you owed taxes, you neglected to pay them. That's tax evasion. I don't care what you call it. I'm, don't try to lawyer me with this stuff. But yeah, he's gonna be calling me a liar. He's gonna be coming for me. So it should make for a great debate, and it's definitely gonna ruffle some feathers. That's for sure. Um, yeah, no, the God gene. There's yeah, no, it's a thing. It has its own Wikipedia page, the God Gene. I didn't even hear about it until this Rumble video, and I was looking at it, and yeah. Hey Bree, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm just going through the vault here, and we're going through upcoming video ideas, and I'm getting people's thoughts on them. Another debunk, right? And I'm so mad at myself for missing this one, because I just was on a weekend trip this last weekend to Colorado. And before I went to Colorado, I had the thought to capitalize on this recent news to make a video about how no, the government doesn't have hurricane machines. It's not thermodynamically possible to do a hurricane machine. And I wanted to make a video about why it's impossible to make a hurricane like with our current technology. And yeah, by the time I got back, like literally the day I got back from Colorado, I'm like scrolling YouTube when I get back home, and I see Professor Dave like just came out with that video, and I'm like, ah. So I want to know. I'm curious. Everybody listening, like, should I still make that video even though Professor Dave made one? Like, I could make one that's like maybe 10 minutes, so like a condensed, shorter version, that's more it'll obviously be me, so it'll be unique in that instance. But yeah, I mean, should I still make it, or do you think that Professor Dave already covered that territory and I kind of missed my chance to ride that wave because I was like, oh, if I hadn't planned this trip to Colorado, I could have hopped on that. um it seems like people are saying, still go for it. So that video is a short, sweet one that I can put out. That'll be really fun. Also, on the same topic of these hurricanes, right? This is going to be a good debunking. I think. I think personally. I don't know. I'm very curious. What do you guys think about Dan Bongino? Like, he's not like a young Earth creationist type guy. Like, he is like a far right Christian political figure. I think he's the biggest right wing podcaster, like, I mean, you might consider Joe Rogan to be a right wing podcaster, but like this guy's like far right, not like whatever Joe Rogan is, right? um, and he's one of the biggest podcasters in the world, one of the biggest live streamers in the world for political content. And he was literally streaming in the middle of Hurricane Milton, like a hurricane intensified by climate change. And he's like live streaming in the middle of a hurricane and spreading climate misinformation and trying to like say we don't really know what's causing climate change in the middle of a hurricane. Like it's the most like absurd thing. And I just felt like I had to cover it and debunk his arguments about climate change. But like sometimes I feel like when I do the climate change science videos, for whatever reason, those don't do as well. And so I just want to get feedback on that. Like, are you guys not as interested in climate science? It seems like typically people are more interested in like evolution and creation. And so I just want to get a feel because I like science of all kinds. And pretty much most of the fields interest me to some degree. Whoa. Robert Rice. Dude, that's. I was about to drink this water, but I got to put this down for a second. Or maybe I need the water now. This is like, wow, I don't even know what to say. This is the biggest super chat I've ever gotten on the channel. Robert Rice, thank you so much. I mean, wow. Um, wow. Thank you guys for believing in the vision of this channel and wanting to encourage some of the ideas that I've been talking about. And just, man, I don't even know what to say. I'll just read what Robert said. He said, to satisfy your science book addiction from a fellow science book addict. Dude, they're expensive. I think Robert knows. I mean, these science books, like these actual textbooks, where they're only printing a couple copies and they're expecting like the college or university to pay for it for their professors or their faculty, they're expensive. This is like a $200 book that's like a little volume on methods of enzymology. And so, this is, thank you again, Robert. Wow, that's incredible. And people are liking the Dan Bongino. That I think that could be great because I haven't seen people really talking about Dan Bongino much. It's like for the biggest podcaster in the world, I barely ever see people debunking Dan Bongino on the kind of absurd pseudoscientific claims that he pushes. And I don't know if there's a disconnect of people in the skeptic space just are not as aware of Dan Bongino. Maybe he's newer, but he is right now the biggest live streamer on the right side of the political spectrum. So, um, yeah, I agree. Whoa. Whoa. Thank you, Robert. That was incredible. I Killed Earl had a friend die in Hurricane Helene. The conspiracy theory Republicans are doing infuriates. Yeah, I mean, it's like literally dangerous. The armed people going after FEMA and like the miscommunication, like the disinformation that's having actual negative effects on people's lives, like it was in the pandemic and every other time when these conspiracy nuts try to lead people away from science and medical knowledge that would be there to their benefit. Like they're getting stuck in the paths of hurricanes and succumbing to diseases that could have otherwise been treated, like what happened with Robert Kennedy in American Samoa, like with all those children, the measles outbreak, easily preventable things that okay, I'm just getting off of topic because this also infuriates me. I mean, I think most of the people on this channel feel the same way, or else they probably wouldn't be on this channel. So yeah, Maya said I didn't know men would do that with naked lady around. Well, I'm not stripping yet. So Monkey Man said, "What is the end game of this massive wave of climate disinformation? Is there a critical point where even staunch opponents can't deny it?" I don't know because at this point, right, we've seen steady progress of the climate's not changing. The climate is changing, but humans are not driving it, and like it just continues to progress. So they're gonna deny it even when it's changing before their eyes. They'll just say, "Well, like this is what Dan Bongino says. This is what I want. This is exactly the topic that I want to debunk." Because Dan Bongino says the climate is changing. Tucker Carlson says the climate is changing. They just say, well, how can we know that humans are the cause? They say we can't possibly know. There's no evidence that the humans specifically are causing it. And yes, there is. There's stratospheric cooling. There's the IR spectrum literally corresponding with greenhouse gas effects, like in the IR frequency of the bonds in the excess heat in the Earth's atmosphere. Like there is literal chemical signatures pinpointing it to anthropological, man-made greenhouse gases and climate change. So no, you can absolutely reject and debunk any claims that we don't know that it's humans that are causing climate change. And that's what I would be debunking Dan Bongino on. So yes, exactly this kind of sentiment right here. I don't know who this guy is, George Washington Barfer, but this sentiment sounds like a climate change denial right here. So I don't know. This is exactly what I was just talking about. Uh, I'm sure you'll put to good use. That thank you. I really hope so. I mean, between starting up Trash Talk and getting some of the equipment for that, like cameras and Starlink. Starlink is expensive, but pulling off the vision that I have for this channel and like doing Trash Talk, debates, debunks, science experiments, and communication, like there's a lot that I want this channel to be, and I just Robert, thank you for sharing that vision. I can't even talk about it without beaming. Um, it's so cool. Let's see. Uh, what happened to global warming? It's still warming. I don't know if you have just been living under a rock or whatever. It didn't go away. Okay, just because people call it climate change, like doesn't mean global warming went away. The globe is still warming. I mean, it really is just an argument from incredulity, Titan. You're so right. And also thank you, Titan, and all the other mods for modding the live chat. You guys really help out the channel a ton. And yeah, this really is it. I don't know climate change science. I don't know climate science, so it's not a thing. That's so much the case with all of these guys. The ratio was the William Lane Craig video that has been blowing up on my channel, over 10,000 views now. Ratioing William Lane Craig's original video in response to me at only 4,000 views. So that was the ratio of the world's most famous Christian apologist, aka William Lane Craig, as confirmed by ChatGPT on my phone. Go and type in ChatGPT, who is the world's most famous Christian apologist, and it'll tell you currently alive. it's William Lane Craig. And I ratioed that man. It was glorious. Glorious. I mean, I never expected something like that to happen on this channel. And for it to cause like a stir and like a discussion among PhD philosophers was genuinely like the coolest thing ever to happen on this channel. And I'm happy, like, I'm so happy that that video got the kinds of recognition. Like it's on pace to become the most viewed video on this channel soon. It's over 10,000 views. It's crazy. Um, yeah, that's the video. And yes, he is. I actually, my big regret with that William Lane Craig video is that I wish that I had highlighted how he has lied before, because I didn't. I wanted to highlight his debate with Sean Carroll and other times where physicists, prominent physicists, PhDs, specialists in the field that William Lane Craig is ostensibly talking about, like he's has some sort of authoritative opinion, are telling him that he's wrong and that the scientific consensus does not say that the universe had a beginning or necessarily has to have a beginning, and that there's no empirical evidence for that. And they're telling this to him to his face. And then later on, he will go and say, well, the scientific consensus says that the universe had a beginning. Like, that is a lie. That is dishonest. And I wish that I had shown those clips and highlighted that during that William Lane Craig video. But it's like every video you put out, after like after watching it or sitting with it for a day or two, you always start to have regrets about, oh, I really should have said this. I really should have included this. Like every video I've ever done. One second. Okay. We're going to go back to the vault. So I want to do more flat earth debates. And I've been trying, guys. I think you know if you've been on this channel for a while, but I've been trying to get a debate with Witsit on the flat earth for over almost a year now. It was last November that I met him in person at the Modern Day Debate Con. And I said, hey, will you debate with me about the flat earth? And he said, yes, he will. And it's literally been almost a year of trying to get him to follow through with that. And everybody's tried. James from Modern Day Debate has tried to get him to commit a debate with me. He ghosted him. Donnie from Standing for Truth has been trying to get Witsit to debate me. And Witsit agreed to debate on Standing for Truth and then found out it was against me, and Hal has been not getting in contact with Donnie again. He's been ghosting him too. And like, I know he's busy, but come on. Like, yeah. I've been trying to get Witsit that Witsit debate forever, and I really want to keep pursuing that because at this point it's funny how badly the dude is dodging me. So if you guys can put the pressure on him and say, "Hey, why don't you debate Grayson? Debate Grayson. Pester that man because he's being a coward." Anyways, Monkey Man said it's amazing how triggered Witsit gets. I never noticed that until his debate with Destiny. Oh yeah, he absolutely. Yeah, he gets tilted. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, okay, yeah, I would also eat Witsit's lunch. Maybe that's why he told me whenever he's like, "Well, listen, okay, I'm really, really selective about who I debate, okay?" And then he goes on Monterey debates and debates people that are like, "This is my first debate. I've never talked about anybody about the flat earth before." It's like, he's not selective. I'm like, okay, well, I should take it back. He is selective, but not in the way of like, I'm very only want to debate the highest quality caliber people. He's selective in another way. Okay, about who he debates. And yeah, it only states the expansion. Yeah, that's exactly the point. Pragmatic Crystal is correct here on the Borda-Guth-Vilenkin theorem and William Lane Craig. Check out that video if you don't know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so let's go back to the vault here. There's also, I mentioned a couple months ago, Dan Biddle, the creationist that made that big creationist arc, the Ark in the Darkness movie. I had an in that told me, like, she told me that she knows him and that he would be willing to talk to me and we could have a friendly debate on young earth creationism. And I'm like, that's so cool. I want to talk to this guy. We watched the movie on stream, and then I've heard radio silence ever since. So I don't understand what's up with that. Another one of those flat earth experiments that I'm trying to do is we need somebody in South Africa, okay? So if you know anybody in South Africa that would be willing to like live stream with us and help out the channel for this flat earth debunk, that would be amazing. Okay, so we have somebody in Australia, we have Mark Reed in Australia, and then we have Max in South America, in Uruguay, and we're going to try to do a simultaneous observation with somebody in South Africa. So from three different continents, a simultaneous observation of the Southern Cross. It's going to be have to be obviously there's like a very small window where you can make such an observation on three continents at the same time. It's like only going to be maybe I think in June or something like that. So it's going to be that kind of summer of 2025. That would be the soonest that we'd be able to pull this off. But that would essentially, I mean, the flat earthers hated when just that observation was done of the Southern Cross on two continents. Doing it on all three would just they would have nothing. That's a solid defeater of anyone that's a proponent of the flat earth. They literally have nothing to respond to that observation with other than magic. And it's a cheap observation. It just involves finding somebody in South Africa that can help us out. We've already got two of the three continents covered. Unfortunately, I don't live in South Africa. It would be really cool if I could travel to South Africa next summer and make that observation together with Marguerite and Max, and I could be that third person. That would be like a goals, like a stretch goals kind of thing for summer 2025 for this flat Earth debunking observation that is literally impossible on a flat Earth. This observation is unexplainable on a flat Earth. They have to say there's some sort of magical firmament that makes a personal illusion for everybody that's looking, and everybody has their own individual stars and sun or some sort of insane thing to believe. That's the only comeback. So I really want to do that debate. I've got this guy. I've got this guy in the DMs that's trying to get this debate with me. He's been trying to get a debate with me for a while, and I've been on the fence about doing it. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys think this would be fun and entertaining, or if it's just like too much and you have no interest. This guy was trying to tell me I was wrong. I don't even remember about what. It was something innocuous about like God or he's like, I used to be an atheist, but then I realized the evidence for God, and I was curious. I was like, what's the evidence? And he says, well, I'm very unorthodox. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay. So what is it? And he starts telling me about sperm retention and feminism. And I'm like, it was a while ago. It was like, I don't even remember the specifics. They don't matter. With somebody like that, I don't think the specifics are going to matter. It's not going to make any sense at all, even if you heard every single specific. And would you be interested in a debate that's just sort of like off the rails with a guy like that, like who's just going to start? He has some sort of conception about like he says he was an atheist and still he started sperm retention, and then when he retained his sperm, then he realized that God exists because feminism is evil or like something like that. I don't remember the specifics. Is that debate something that would interest you, or are you just like, that's too weird, I don't want to see that at all? So yeah, I mean, be honest now. I want the honest feedback, because like I've been on the fence about doing that debate because I'm like, this guy could just be too weird for prime time. You know what I mean? So uh Missing Mod says here, stopping in to say congrats on the subs. Thanks, Missing Mod. Some people are into it, some people aren't into it. um kind of. It's not really kundalini or edging, it's just like not releasing. You're not like building up to anything, you're just not. You're just retaining forever. Like, it sounds terrible. Anyways, um there's other things that I want to debate about with the flat earth, like gas pressure without a container. Like the classic ones is water level. There's some really good observations that I would want to do for the water is level, um like two ropes, right? One that goes in a straight line, and then one that is covering the surface of the earth that is like a buoyant rope. And then you basically can measure, is the level path on the surface of the water longer distance than the straight path that goes under the water. And like the taut rope, and basically be a great flat earth observation showing that water is level, but level is not straight. And this could be a great observation showing that just with like a rope. If I go to the beach with like a friend, maybe I need to make a friend that has a boat, maybe. But you get the point. It could be a fun video as well. Like there's a bunch of different like DIY experiments that could easily disprove a flat earth that I would like to start doing more of on this channel, is my point. There's also a philosophy professor at my alma mater that is like a big proponent of the ontological argument for God. And it could be really just fun and cool to have a more mature debate slash discussion with an actual PhD philosopher, um, all about God, and that could be really fun. And just like having an actual live in person sit down at a university with a philosopher at my alma mater could be a treat, you know. So that's something. I also want a rematch with Flatzoid. Let me know what you guys think about that, if that's a good idea or not. I had a debate with Flatzoid maybe like a year ago, and there was like one part about what I wasn't happy where like I feel like I was right, but I didn't explain myself in a way that people understood. It was specifically about the Coriolis effect, and I want to have a debate with Flatzoid specifically about flight times debunking the flat Earth and the Coriolis effect because he thinks that he was right in that exchange, and he thinks I didn't know what I was talking about with the Coriolis effect, and I just want to I don't want to say change his mind because who knows if he's even capable of that. But I want another shot of explaining what I meant because, like, I was correct, and I want the opportunity to explain that about the Coriolis effect and flight times. He was literally trying to say that planes can't fly on a globe because of the Coriolis effect, and it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It was just like him not understanding how the conservational momentum works. It was so stupid. I also want to do a video on like the video I did on is Christianity specifically like succumbing to flat earth, is it more prone to it. I want to do a bit more videos on that, like just kind of talking about subjects like that. One of them I got here is scientism a religion? um, because all the time people are like, oh, evolution's a religion, science is a religion, blah 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 blah. So I want to talk about scientism and what that is, if that's even a real thing, and whether or not it's a religion, which obviously I'm going to say it's not, but you know what I mean. So that's an idea. Um, I also we're getting a little bit late in the season for this, but I have wanted to do like a go to a Trump rally and ask Trump supporters like, do you believe in evolution? Uh, do you think like just ask them kind of questions like, how old do you think the Earth is? Do you think Jesus supports LGBT people? Do you think Jesus supports white people? Do you think Jesus supports black people? And just see like how the answers vary for these different questions among Trump supporters at a Trump rally. Um, I think that could be kind of fun. But again, we're kind of there's the window on that is closing. I thought maybe I could hit one up in Texas, but I've been really really busy, and yeah, I haven't. If I get the opportunity to go to a Trump rally between now and then, or just at Trump rally at any point in time, if that opportunity comes up, that is something I want to do. Is just go to a Trump rally and ask some questions. So we'll see. Mm. Monkey Man said that might be a missed opportunity, but even if he wins, loses, there's still going to be rallies for him. That's very true. That's so true. I have this like vision of them like wheeling Trump out in a wheelchair, and he's like, I mean, he's bald, but he's still got the wig on. But he's got like he's hooked up to the breathing machine, and he's coming out. Oh, make America great again! When he's like 90 years old. Like I've just had that vision for like since 2018. um, I don't know. It could be dangerous, but I don't know. I could carry my own. Yeah, you should do something like that. Thank you very much for the congratulations, Evil Ginger Miniatures. Yeah, be careful. I'm not sure if it's safe. Um, I'm curious as to what the flat earther explanation for that German super artillery was that fired so high and far that they had to account for Earth's rotation. Yeah, they have to find some way to just deny, deny, deny. I mean, I don't know exactly what they would deny it with, what exact lie they would tell themselves and narrative that they would construct so where they can't possibly believe that, but they're gonna find some way to deny it. I mean, they would if you took them up to space and put them in an EVA and had them do a spacewalk, they would find some way to deny what their eyes and like reality in front of their face is telling them. Like they would. Um, no way Trump wins, bro. Just play 30 minutes and dance. Dude, the listening to music thing for 30 minutes in silence and just like, yeah, that was what even was that? Was that a stroke? Like what was going on? That was so much. Okay. I'm over an hour. I was gonna do it around for an hour. This stream has been incredible. Thank you again, Robert Rice and Left Handed Jedi and I Killed Earl and everybody. Like y'all are amazing. I mean, all the things that I'm going to be doing on the channel coming up that I went through, and I didn't get through everything on the vault either. I mean, there's still a lot more ideas on here that I have not talked about. Um, and again, I'm going to be doing that collaboration with Planet Peterson every Saturday. Tomorrow at noon, Saturday, noon Central Time, I'm going to be on Planet Peterson's podcast. I'll be doing that every week, as well as putting out a few guest videos on Planet Peterson's channel. So look out for those collaborations. More collaborations to come with other channels as well. Hopefully, Godless Engineer is going to have me on Skep Talk by the end of the year. Bad Science Sunday, I'm going to be on. Going to be on Justin's new debate platform. So there's a lot coming up on the channel. There's a lot coming up. So please do, if you're not subscribed, and make sure that the bell is on so that you are getting those notifications. Like the stream, because the algorithm likes it when you like the stream and you comment. That really, really helps the video out. You guys are really incredible, honestly. Thank you so much for the support and the vision that I have for the way that this channel is going to be with trash talk, with the debates, with the debunks, the science communication, the interviews with scientists that I want to talk about. Just all of the types of videos and the way to promote science and skepticism and learning on this channel and the way that I envision for it. I am so excited for what the future holds. I want you all to be there on that journey with me, to learn with me as I go, to like just, celebrate the discoveries in science along the way. And it means so much to me that you guys are here and you guys are sharing in that, and that you guys are supportive of those kinds of experiments and videos coming up. So that was a long and rambling way to end the stream, but I just have a smile on my face. I really miss doing live streams with you guys. So thank you for being here on this one tonight. And again, I will be reading all the comments below. So if you missed this live stream and you have thoughts about any of the videos and you want to make sure that your voice is heard on this channel and that your feedback is noted, I will be reading all the comments, and I really hope that you will comment. I want to hear from you, and I want to see, what you are excited about out of all these upcoming videos, why you wanted to subscribe, what do you want to see more of. Please do let me know. And for all the members, I will come up with a better name than just Grace and Hawk members right now. But thank you for all the new members too. I'm signing out, guys. Good night. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll be back with plenty more to come. Believe that. Good night. Peace out and stay learning.